Robert E. Lee, a name etched into American history. But how much do we really know about the man behind the legend? Robert Edward Lee was born on January 19, 1807, into a prominent Virginia family. The Lee family had a storied history in Virginia, stretching back to colonial times. Young Robert was born at Stratford Hall Plantation in Westmoreland County, where he spent his early years amidst the grandeur of Southern aristocracy. From an early age, Robert displayed traits of leadership and discipline. His father, Henry Lighthorse Harry Lee III, was a Revolutionary War hero, but financial troubles haunted the family. Despite these challenges, Robert's upbringing instilled in him a strong sense of duty and honor. Robert's father, Henry, played a pivotal role in shaping his character. He emphasized the values of integrity, perseverance, and service to country, a legacy that would profoundly influence Robert's future endeavors. At the age of 11, tragedy struck young Robert when his father passed away. He was left in the care of his mother, Anne Hill Carter Lee. By the age of 18, Robert enrolled at the United States Military Academy at West Point, following in his father's footsteps. His years at West Point were marked by academic excellence and a commitment to duty. Lee's time at West Point provided him with a rigorous military education and laid the foundation for his future military career. He graduated second in his class in 1829, bested only by future Iowa Supreme Court Justice Charles Mason. After West Point, Lee embarked on a distinguished military career, serving with distinction in the United States Army. He gained valuable leadership experience during the Mexican-American War, where he earned the admiration of his peers for his spectacular victories. Lee's military prowess and strategic acumen caught the eye of his superiors, earning him rapid promotions and accolades. His success in Mexico solidified his reputation as one of the Army's brightest rising stars. Despite his achievements in the military, Lee's loyalties were divided when his home state of Virginia seceded from the Union in 1861. Faced with a momentous decision, Lee chose to resign from the United States Army and cast his lot with the Confederacy. Lee's decision to join the Confederate cause was a deeply personal one, rooted in his sense of duty to his homeland and his belief in states' rights. It was a decision that would alter the course of his life and the destiny of a nation. Our journey begins in the spring of 1862, with Lee's appointment as commander of the Confederate forces in Virginia. Lee wasted no time in asserting his authority, launching a series of bold offensives against Union forces in the Eastern Theater. One of Lee's early triumphs came at the Battle of Second Manassas, where his audacious maneuvers confounded Union General John Pope, securing a decisive victory for the Confederacy. However, Lee's fortunes took a turn at the Battle of Antietam in September 1862. Despite displaying his trademark tactical brilliance, Lee's army suffered heavy casualties in the bloodiest single day of the war, forcing him to retreat back into Confederate territory. Undeterred by setbacks, Lee regrouped and launched a daring invasion of the North in the summer of 1863, culminating in the Battle of Gettysburg, the most famous clash of the Civil War. The Battle of Gettysburg would prove to be a turning point in Lee's career. Despite his tactical brilliance, Lee's ambitious assault, famously known as Pickett's Charge, ended in a devastating defeat for the Confederacy. The Union victory at Gettysburg dealt a severe blow to Lee's army and dashed his hopes for a decisive victory on Northern soil. Lee would redeem himself with a stunning triumph at the Battle of Chancellorsville in May 1863. Despite being outnumbered, Lee executed a daring flanking maneuver that routed Union forces. Tragically, the victory at Chancellorsville came at a heavy cost, with the loss of Lee's most trusted lieutenant, General Thomas "Stonewall" Jackson. As the war dragged on, Lee faced mounting pressure from Union forces under the command of General Ulysses S. Grant. The siege of Petersburg would become a grueling test of Lee's endurance and resourcefulness. For 9 long months, Lee's army held out against overwhelming odds, but by April 1865, the Confederate cause was on the brink of collapse. Finally, on April 9, 1865, General Lee reluctantly surrendered his army to General Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively bringing an end to the Civil War. Following the surrender at Appomattox Courthouse in April 1865, Robert E. Lee faced the daunting task of rebuilding his life in the wake of defeat. Stripped of his military command and faced with the reality of a devastated South, Lee embarked on a journey of introspection and renewal. Throughout the post-war years, Lee dedicated himself to the cause of education and reconciliation. In 1865, he accepted the presidency of Washington College in Lexington, Virginia, where he would leave an indelible mark on the institution. As president of Washington College, Lee implemented sweeping reforms aimed at revitalizing the institution and shaping the minds of future generations. Beyond his role as an educator, Lee emerged as a symbol of reconciliation and national unity in the post-war South. Despite his own Confederate past, Lee advocated for reconciliation between North and South, urging fellow Southerners to embrace the principles of peace and cooperation. However, Lee's efforts at reconciliation were not without controversy. In the years following the war, his legacy became the subject of heated debate, with some vilifying him as a traitor and others venerating him as a symbol of Southern pride. In the twilight of his life, he sought redemption through acts of humility and service to others. On October 12, 1870, Robert E. Lee passed away at the age of 63. Robert E. Lee's life was impactful for both the Union and Confederacy. His legacy is still up to debate to this day, with statues getting torn down all across the southern United States. What do you think of Robert E. Lee and his legacy? Comment below. Thank you for watching.